What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name is Ben Kepler.
I'm Ben Yukon.
We're here again.
We're
Dude,
back.
9
It's another
days.
Tuesday.
9 days
9 days, huh?
till the draft.
Oh yeah, shit.
I am pretty hype. Today, guys, for you, we're gonna have Ben's final mock draft. Next week, you'll
Yes,
get
sir.
mine right before the draft,
Yes, sir.
and let's see what surprises he has in store for us. But first off, we do have some news that we want to talk about with you guys. There is stuff going on throughout the NFL, trade rumors as we get close to the draft. A couple players retiring and some other news.
Yep.
More saddening news. We'll catch up on that too. Ben, first let's start off with that because I mean it's a pretty important one. This week, LSU star wide receiver
Yeah.
Kyron Lacey.
Yeah.
He was
He passed away over the weekend.
Yep, he was found unalive. Prayers go out to him and his family. Not too much that we want to go too deep on that. It's just one of those real good examples, guys, of why to stick when you're talking about sports. Stick to the players and on the field stuff. You get too deep on these young kids and their off the field stuff, that has big problems to mental health. So
Yeah.
it's better to
So-
just talk ball. Talk ball. Yeah, stay in your lane. That's a good way to put it, producer Paul. Thank you. That's the
Yeah,
exact way to
so-
do it.
But just from personal experience, I've lost a buddy who took his own life similar
Mm-hmm.
this way. And it's not fun. It's not any type of death is not not cool in any way.
It
shape, or
affects
form.
a
And
lot.
It's just it affects more than just him, obviously. It affects his family, affects his friends. It affects everybody. It's a terrible situation.
Absolutely.
So I wish his family the best and all that stuff. but
Mhm.
It's just
Stick to football. Stick to football. Stick to football. Guys, what's up? Welcome into the chat, everyone. Other topics we have for today. A little bit less disheartening news.
yeah.
We have Kyron, or I'm not talking, not Kyron. We have Jalen Ramsey,
yeah.
who's up on the trade block.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to talk with you maybe a little bit about where you think he could go, what he's worth. For me, I think it's like a third round pick potentially. Do you think it's any higher than that?
No, I mean that's like the highest. Maybe a second.
But like in the
Like a third that could turn into a second round pick. type
right.
Deal.
Oh, so not even for this year's draft, for future.
Yeah, for future.
Okay, I could see
So,
that.
It's just
For me,
I have no idea where he was gonna go.
I think
Like-
that if I was to take a team that I could see going after Jalen Ramsey right now,
Yeah.
who could use him, plug and play, San Francisco 49ers.
The Niners could use him.
Put him opposite side of Diamador Lenore. They just lost Jardavius Ward. Man, big names. In the free agency. So I really feel like that could be immediate plug and play. 49ers could use, a third or fourth round draft pick because they're so low in the draft. They're in kind of the beginning of the middle
Yeah.
of the draft order. I think that's somewhere that he could potentially go.
Yeah, I could see that too. There's another team where I can see him getting traded to. Right here in our own backyard.
You think so?
I don't think it could. I could see it happening though.
Yeah, I could see it being one of those. I'll give it to you. I haven't put that to thought at all,
Yeah.
but I could see it being one of those. I want to play 1 year for Mike T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because Mike T's a player's coach. He has that reputation with the players in the league.
And we have the money.
So, and we have the money.
His contract is huge.
But do we have? If we is huge, we probably would need Miami to eat some of that.
100%. Not a lot of it though. We still have 56 million. Chat here is going off, and they're saying Commanders.
Commanders, eh?
Commanders.
That's a good one too. I could see that happening.
Opposite of Lattimore.
The Niners and Commanders are more realistic than the Steelers. Honestly, just because to get them out of the AFC entirely.
Exactly.
So makes sense.
Exactly. We have more trade rumors on the board, Ben. Maybe one that I haven't really mentioned to you, but did drop today. I had this in my 32 for 32.
Mhm.
Check that out if you haven't. The Ravens. Now, their general manager today, he came out and was asked about the future of Mark Andrews.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
You did mention that in 32.
he said, in the 32, I said they could
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are not sure what could happen. He never knows what could happen next. That kinda gives you the same answer as the, Cincinnati
Yeah,
Bengals about playing in town, like,
yeah. It's like that
what do you mean by
you
that, dude?
said words, but meant nothing.
Yeah,
Like
you're the general manager, dude. You know everybody who's gonna be playing on the team potentially,
yeah,
you know?
you have at least an idea of who's gonna be there.
Yeah, you should have the best idea of anybody.
Yeah.
If he was to get traded, what do you think he's worth? I think he's worth a lot more. I think we're talking second round pick. TJ Hawkinson, when he was traded, I believe was for a third.
Yeah, but TJ was younger
He was younger.
and
He
still
was
is
younger.
younger than Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Andrews was maybe a little bit injury riddled throughout his career at certain points. Not often, but certain points. Last year he got injured for a while.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe like a fourth round pick. I could
That
see
sounds
that.
about right.
A
Sounds
conditional third.
yeah, I wouldn't go any higher than a third for Mark Andrews, to be honest.
Yeah. I think that if there is a team that could go after him though.
Yeah. He's still a top 12 tight end
Oh, I still think
in the league.
he's yeah,
Top
I
10.
top 10 for sure. I
Yeah.
would even maybe put him in the top 8 if you really break it down and look at it. There isn't like extraordinary tight ends in the NFL everywhere. There's a couple really good
Yeah,
guys who make
there's
us forget him,
yeah.
but
I can think of 4.
yeah. Um,
So Bowers, uh
you could go
Bowers,
Bowers,
Laporta,
Cardinals guy.
Kittle, McBride,
Mhm.
and 5 would be Hawkinson.
Yeah, 5 would be
Those would be the
Hawkinson.
top 5 in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, I like this. I like those picks. What up, Brad?
So,
Welcome in the chat. Dave, what's up? Terry, what's up? Everybody in the live, just saying what's up to all of you. They also think Mark Andrews could go to the Chargers. I didn't give my team though. I think that if Mark Andrews was to get traded away, the team who would get him or would make the biggest push to get him is the team that has his best friend and also one of his groomsmen. That's Baker Mayfield.
mhm.
I think that the team
Go
that
down to Tampa.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think the team that Mark Andrews would be traded to, if he does get traded, guys, is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That makes sense. That
I
makes sense.
it,
I
it
mean, does Baker have that type of influence to get somebody though?
I feel like now on Tampa Bay does after he got his contract,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
team is built around
Mhm.
him, and I
I
mean
mean, he had a career year
exactly. And Kate Otton's good,
last
but
season.
why not have two good tight ends? I mean, Mark Andrews way better than Kate Otten, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mark Andrews would be a definite upgrade over Kate Otten for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of like that trade. Also, they could probably send Kate Otten over to the Baltimore Ravens and he would be useful to them. They
Mhm.
love to use tight ends over there.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what I kind of think. I think if Mark Andrews leaves, he pairs up with his college quarterback in Baker Mayfield. That's just what I think would happen.
yeah.
Um,
That's honestly that would be the best landing spot for him. To be honest,
mhm.
I can't think of really any other place that would be better.
Not necessarily that it has a quarterback that needs. I mean, he could go to the Bengals, but I mean, the Bengals don't have the money to pay Mark Andrews, and the Ravens
No,
aren't going
no,
to trade Mark Andrews to the Bengals. That just doesn't
no.
make sense.
Yeah,
So,
no. Bengals don't
um,
have the money for
no, they really don't.
nothing.
Other news that I did want to talk about in regards to trade rumors. Now, you had one, and we'll get to the juiciest one next. But during the Jalen Ramsey talks today,
Mhm.
he was asked, the general manager of the Dolphins, is Tyreek Hill available for trade? And they said, not necessarily, but if a team comes around and offers me 2 first-round draft picks,
Right?
I might listen to their talks. So, like, we're in that extreme vague version of
Yeah.
the NFL right now where
Yeah.
it's kind of like with NHL hockey playoffs where you don't really say what the injury is to the player. You just say he might be a little bit banged up. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, like, does he have.
Upper body injury.
Yeah.
Lower body injury.
Okay, what is it? Is he
Like-
missing a thumb or not?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
anyways, so Tyreek Hill, maybe he's also on the board for the Dolphins. It kind of looks like it is rebuild mode in Miami.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Didn't look like
like-
the Tua project worked too well.
No.
Tank
no.
for Tua.
Yeah. Still tank. Not really. They've had a couple decent years, but like, Tua hasn't put him over the top.
Yeah, you can't
So,
win a
like,
game in the snow, Tua.
Yeah. No. I don't think they ever won the division.
I don't think they've won a game that the temperature is below 40 degrees.
Yeah, that too.
Other one I wanted to talk about, Ben, was your trade rumor. It's something that's popped up in Pittsburgh media over the last couple weeks
It
as we get
has
closer to the
big
draft.
time,
This is
big
TJ
time.
Watt potentially not being a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers any longer, is
Yeah.
having issues in the first round of contract talks.
Hmm.
So
So
there automatically sparks up okay, is he gone then?
yeah. Well, see, what screwed this for TJ and the Steelers to get a new deal done,
Mhm.
Miles Garrett,
Yeah. I can agree with
because
you
like, I
100%.
mean, honestly, who's the better edge rusher?
I would say TJ is a better edge rusher, but if you were to put it into
I mean,
interior,
honestly,
it's
who's
Miles.
just the better player in
It's
general?
TJ, but I'm a Steeler fan, so
No,
that's kind of
I'm
bias.
I'm just gonna go purely off the numbers, man.
All
Even
right.
the year when Miles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year
Mhm.
with 14 sacks, didn't have a sack in the last 6 games of the season, by the way.
True. True.
Like, it's just it's ridiculous, man. TJ Watt is a level above Miles Garrett, in my opinion.
Danger Dave says
So
TJ Watt to the Bengals. Danger Dave, I'm gonna
no,
find you.
that ain't ever happening, Danger
No,
Dave.
Danger Dave.
One, they don't have the money to pay him
Very true.
at all.
Very true.
And two, we're not going to trade him to an in division rival.
Ex-
So
oh, okay. So Terry agrees with us that TJ is better
yes,
than Miles. So yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, and it's just, since Miles Garrett got that big deal, I
Mhm.
forget the exact numbers.
Yeah, it's $123 million.
$123 million.
Mhm.
Yeah, TJ wants that.
Yeah, he does.
So, and the Steelers kind of messed up by not doing this earlier this year, not re-signing him earlier,
For sure.
because the Steeler way, and they don't do things until
End of
the
the season.
summer
Mhm.
and whatnot, and they
Mhm.
don't re-sign people during the season.
No, you're right.
It's just,
It's annoying.
it is annoying. It is annoying because we can't keep guys, or we say we want to keep guys, but then they start getting older, and then we kick them to the curb like they were nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Joey
well,
Porter.
Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, or Troy, yeah. Yeah, very true.
So like, they should have paid him either last year or right after the season.
Mhm. I think that TJ is
So this wouldn't have been an issue.
I think
But
he is worth every bit of the dollars that he wants paid. It's looking like, guys, that he wants about $40 million a year, probably wants about a 3-year contract. That's about the same as Miles Garrett.
yeah,
I kind of think that he deserves it.
for sure.
I think the Steelers are going to cave though, and they're going to give it to him.
You
I
think so?
Yeah.
I
Here's a stat
I
for you.
think so. Maybe, I don't know.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, when he doesn't play, are 1-10. So, I mean, do we want to win football games or are we rebuilding? If we're rebuilding, trade TJ Watt,
So
get a first round pick for him. I think he's worth the first round pick at least.
yeah,
Um,
just to be devil's advocate to your 1-10 with TJ Watt,
mhm.
0-5 in the playoffs with him.
I don't. He didn't play in one of those playoff games, did he? I think he was injured for the one. It was a big deal. It's the reason why we
Oh,
got creamed.
okay, then 0-4 in the
Yeah, 0-4.
playoffs with
Very
TJ
right.
Watt.
Very true. Very true. Very true. But at the same exact time, I don't know if
So
if you're going to trade your staple player, the number one guy in your franchise, you better be getting
we can
a
get a haul for him if we do
you better
trade
get
him.
a haul for him, and not only do you need to get a haul for him, but you better have a plan for what you're getting back on it.
Yeah.
You better know what you're doing with all those picks, with all that money that you're going to have. You better know. That's all I'll say on that. Talking about getting rid of our best player isn't a topic I love, but
Yeah.
it is something that the Steelers do choose to move into that
I
more
mean,
rebuild mode. It's what we're going to have to do.
that would be a smart move for the rebuild mode.
Yeah.
To trade TJ Watt. Would
Yeah,
I personally like
disagree.
that? Would I personally like that? No, because I want to see TJ play his entire career here in Pittsburgh. But that is out of my control. So
Yeah.
he's just gotta hope for the best.
Red in chat, this is a good one. He says TJ Watt getting QB money to take the Steelers to 9 wins each season. Woohoo.
Imagine if we
He's-
had a quarterback.
he's not wrong.
We'd have 13 wins.
He is not wrong. I can't even say anything about it. He's not wrong. Usually I got something for Red, but not today. Other news, Ben, this has nothing to do with trade rumors or anything of that nature. But Tyrone Smith, long time
Mhm.
left tackle for the
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys,
Yep.
went backed up. He was an Aaron Rodgers guy last season.
Mhm.
He's retired, signed a 1-day contract with the Dallas Cowboys
Yep.
to retire. Real good player. Can't really say anything negative about him. Didn't do great against the Jets, but all his
Yeah,
years
no.
in the Cowboys, he was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they had what, 3, 4 years in a row where they were the best offensive line in the league,
Mhm.
with arguably the best rushing game in the
Yeah.
league with Elliott
Yep.
in his prime.
He took care of Dak, that's for sure. That is for sure. So that kinda seems like the Jets now officially probably will go with that left tackle maybe in the
Mhm,
first round.
mhm,
Kinda
yeah.
looking like it. With that, Ben, do you wanna get into your mock draft 3.0?
We sure can, we
Awesome.
sure can. I
Let's
got
see
a
what you got.
few changes here. I got a
Okay.
few changes here. So, uh,
Where do you
1, obviously, Cam Ward. I
Yeah,
mean, there's a few locks. Cam Ward at 1, so Gentry 6 for the Raiders, that's a lock. Uh, and really so my
most of the
biggest
rest of it you
change
have mixed up pretty well from what I can
I
see.
mixed it up, from what I did last time. So, Shedeur Sanders doesn't fall to 9 to the Saints. He goes number 2 to the Browns.
Do you think so? Really?
I think so. I think this Shedeur Sanders is falling down draft boards. He's falling down late into the first round, maybe even the second round. I think it's a bunch of BS. I think it's a
Okay.
bunch of BS
'Cause
because I mean, if him and Jackson Dart are comparable, and Jackson Dart is a first round pick,
Mhm.
Shedeur Sanders is also a first round pick.
Yeah,
So
I guess, I would say
and I
this.
think Shedeur is better than Jackson Dart.
You think he's better?
Yes, not by
Okay.
much, not by much, but still better.
I'll say this on your Shedeur Sanders pick. I could see that by the end of the draft, both of these things happening.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders being a first round pick
Mhm.
and Shedeur Sanders being a Cleveland Brown. But I could see this
Not at number 2?
not at number 2, at number 8.
At
At
number
number
8?
8, I will bring that to you in my mock draft 4.0. That'll be dropped next Tuesday. But just keep that in mind. That's something doesn't sound too unrealistic, does it?
No, no, sounds realistic
Sounds
to
like
me.
something they could do and they
Yeah.
could pull off. Let's see what else you got on your draft here, Ben.
So, and just I'll just the next couple picks.
Mhm.
3, the Giants take Travis Hunter.
So you're having the Giants take Travis Hunter.
Yes, sir.
That is kind of a surprise pick when it comes to what other analysts are saying, but not out of the realm of possibilities.
No.
I will say that today, Travis Hunter did come out and say that he will not play for a team that is not interested in letting him play both sides of the football. He would rather retire than only play one side of the football.
I think the Giants would be that team that will let him play both sides of the
The
ball.
Giants will just let him free.
Yep.
They need an all-star
Yeah.
on both sides
Yeah,
of the
they
football
need
field.
something exciting because
Malik Neighbors is it.
yeah, that's all they have.
Absolutely. I can
So
actually see this pick happening to the New York Giants. I could see them taking Travis Hunter strictly because of those reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and plus best player on the board is between him and Abdul Carter. I don't think they could go wrong with taking Abdul Carter as
Right.
well at that spot, but I think they go with Hunter for wide receiver corner.
Okay.
So and then the next pick, the Patriots just bolster that defense even more. They take Abdul Carter.
So I'll say this. If Mike Vrabel gets Abdul Carter,
Yeah.
it's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I will also wanted to add this. This came out over the weekend. Doctors have looked at Abdul Carter's foot now again
Yeah.
and say that it is completely good. They have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, he's a freak.
Go.
He's a freak, dude.
Teams
He's
should be
gonna
wanting this
Yeah,
guy.
he's gonna immediately make a huge impact on any defense he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
it's just he's a fire first round pick. You can't miss on him. He's gonna be fucking good.
100
Excuse me.
100%. I can see him being like a Josh Hines Allen level kind of rushing ability. I think he's going to be really good. He's
Yeah.
like a linebacker edge, whichever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Who you take.
He can play the edge. He can play off ball.
He'll
He
play
can,
anywhere.
He can do it all. He can do it all.
Absolutely.
He can
So
do it
you
all for
got
sure.
Abdul Carter teaming up with Mike Vrabel at pick
Mhm.
number 4 to the Patriots. I
Yes,
like that
sir.
one.
Yes,
What do you got
sir.
next,
So
man?
next, Will Campbell still to number 5 to the Jags.
Okay, so you have the
Tackle.
Jags going with offensive line here.
Mhm.
I
And
think in
then-
past ones we had Mason Graham going there. You're having them pay attention to Trevor Lawrence a little more.
Yes.
Make sure the offensive
Yep.
line is built correctly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I
And
can
then-
see that.
So 6, same for the Raiders. Ashton Genty
Yeah.
for that pick.
And I'll tell
That's
you
just a
this.
lock pick.
And
It's
this is
just like-
this is just from fan
going to
reaction. This is from fan feedback. A lot of you guys have been checking out our content, and we have an Ashton Genty clip out there about the Raiders taking him. I obviously came out and said I think it'd be stupid for them not to take him. He's a blaring hole that they need to fill and would immediately fill it.
Yes.
A lot of them think that because the Raiders have such draft capital in this year, that they should trade back and pick up more
Mhm.
picks. Running back is something that they were right about, is deep in this
It
draft.
is deep. It is
They
deep.
want an offensive lineman or Tet McMillan because they don't have a second wide receiver and they don't have a great offensive line. They're all saying, "Oh, Ashton Genty will die behind that offensive line." This guy is an all-star. He's going to come out and
Yeah,
knock your socks off. You
I think
should be
Ashton
begging
Genty was
for him.
just fine. He's a little smaller, but he still runs with a lot of power, and he's shown that he I don't think he hasn't had any major injury
No. And here's another
to
thing.
date.
Josh Jacobs ran behind old Donald Penn on the offensive line. So you tell me that Ashton Genty
Yeah.
can't do the same with their new
Josh
offensive line?
Jacobs had 4 really good years for
On
the
a
Raiders
crappy
on a crap
team.
team.
Yeah, so please
Like
give me a break. What do you got next, Ben?
So next, the Jets, they take Mason Graham,
Okay. Okay,
D
so
lineman
that's the
from
falling piece
Michigan.
right there.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
guy who falls out of the top 5.
All right. Mason Graham
So
is a top defensive line prospect in this draft.
I think
Jets,
he's the best one according to the experts.
really?
Yeah, for D
Okay.
line,
Yeah, I would agree. I would
interior D
agree.
line.
I could agree with that. Who do you got coming
So
up next, man?
next, the Panthers take Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Ooh,
Yep.
now I'll tell you this: there is a lot of speculation this week about the Panthers pick. A lot of rumors going out there, guys, about the number 8 pick, about the Panthers trading away,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason being because the Saints now are like identifying we need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. And so is somebody wanting to trade up above them to get a specific quarterback, whether that's Shedeur Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's Jackson Dart, whether I don't know, maybe it's Milrow. He was invited to the first round of the draft.
Yeah, he's going to be in the green
It
room.
could be him as well. Could it be the Steelers? Could it be the Cleveland Browns in that theoretical one I said a moment ago?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams could trade for this Carolina pick. Carolina has some options out there, but you have them taking Tyler Warren if
Yes.
they keep it.
Yes,
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
for
Awesome.
sure. Because I don't think the Saints have to move to get their guy because they're going to take Jackson Dart with the next pick at number 9.
Okay. So we got the Saints taking the old Miss boy. He's going to go down to New Orleans and play for the
Yes,
Saints.
sir.
Okay. Jackson
sir.
Dart to the Saints at number 9. I
Jackson
don't
Dart
hate
to the
it.
Saints.
If he and Shedeur are available, do you think that it is for sure Shedeur that they would take?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think they would take
Okay.
Shedeur over Jackson Dart. And then the next pick, I believe I had this the same last time, and you had it the same as well. Malachi Starks to the Bears. And number
Yeah.
10, 11, the Niners go Armand Membo,
You have Membo. This is
tackle.
this
from Missouri.
this tackle. Now I'll tell you, is he as good as Campbell from LSU? I think so. I think
so.
I think they're 1A,
It's just-
1B.
A lot of these tackles
Mhm.
in this draft, they're all guys that can be moved around across the offensive line.
And I think that's the new NFL too.
Yeah,
You could be a college right tackle, but in the NFL you're a guard, or you're a guard in college, but because you're smaller, you're able to move to the outside because you're able to be more flexible and move. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just
it's-
seems like
it's
you
weird.
can go all over the place
Yeah.
with an offensive lineman. I like what the development of offensive line has been because you have more guys who are able to fill in holes at different spots and make your depth chart even more
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, and they're more athletic than they've ever been.
100%.
So, it's
I
just-
think the NFL is more athletic than it's ever
oh
been.
my god,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, it's crazy.
So at 11, Armand Membo, you have that going to the 49ers.
Yes, sir.
Filling
Yes,
out a
sir.
spot
Yes,
that they
sir.
need. They lost Aaron Banks at guard. Maybe he comes in and takes over that position. Who do you have the Cowboys, America's team, taking? Who's the Cowboys taking, man?
The Cowboys are going to take Teteroya McMillan, wide
Oh,
receiver, Arizona.
Tet McMillan going
Yep.
to the Cowboys.
They're gonna
Okay.
they're gonna pair someone up with CeeDee Lamb, opposite CeeDee Lamb, down there in Dallas.
I
I
could
could see that. Like
I could see
it's
that.
either that or running back, in my opinion.
I could absolutely see that now. We talked already a little bit about his comments as a freshman, saying that he doesn't really like to
I'm
watch tape
not
all
worried
that
about
much.
that.
We'll stay off that for him today, but I do like the pick. I do like adding another weapon to go alongside CD Lamb, whether that is Luther Burden, whether it's McMillan. I like either. You took McMillan here, and
Mhm.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Who do you have coming up
So
13? I think that's
at
the
13, and I did this before the trade rumors
uh-huh.
for Ramsey since he went on the trade block today. Regardless, they will take Barron, cornerback out
Oh,
of Texas.
okay, okay. Jahad Barron going to the Miami Dolphins. That's at pick 13. That's a obvious replacement for the guy who went on trade block today. That's Jalen Ramsey. We'll see. Maybe they trade up in this draft using Jalen Ramsey and their first to get higher up, maybe get a different player. But I like this pick at this
Hmm.
position. Best cornerback
Yeah,
off the
it's a
board.
good pick.
Will
Good pick.
Johnson,
Good
also
pick.
a very good cornerback, but had an injury during his college career last season. So that's why this puts him a little bit higher here, Barron. Who do you have coming
Just
up
a
at
tad.
14?
14, same. Jihad
I don't know. There's 2
Campbell.
I's that really throw me off. Or
Yeah,
no, 2 A's.
2 A's.
Jihad. We're gonna
Jihad.
go Jihad, bro.
Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama, goes 14 to the Colts.
You had him the first time,
Yeah, I
and
think that's the pick for them.
unwavering change.
Yep.
Only if Tyler Warren is
If
available.
yeah, if Tyler Warren does fall to them at 14, they'll take Tyler Warren. But if he doesn't, the next guy they should be getting is Campbell
Okay.
from Alabama.
Okay. Okay. I like the pick. I like the pick. And now coming up for the Atlanta Falcons, who do you have at 15, man?
Burden the third, Luther Burden the third, going to the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're going to
Okay.
get another wide receiver down there.
Okay. Now, let me tell you that if Ray McLeod isn't on contract, I do like this pick. I don't know if it's necessarily first round that they try to go after this, but if they do, I think that this player specifically, Luther Burden, is a great player for
Hmm.
him.
Yeah.
He would play across the slot. You would have Darnell Mooney going deep on the right, and then you
Yep.
would have London on the left doing all the gadget plays that he
Hmm.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that pick. I like that pick a
So
lot.
I mean, it would create a four-headed monster. I'm including Kyle Pitts for the receiving core.
But
But
yeah, I know what you mean. He should
I
be,
mean,
but
yeah,
he
he
really
should
isn't.
be. He should be. He really should be. It's just he's been a huge disappointment. I think maybe with some better quarterback play.
Mhm.
I think with if they can get it from Penix Jr.
I think they will.
So you think they will?
I think they will. I
We'll
think.
see.
I think.
He
I think
did do
Penix is
better.
good.
He had a better year with Kirk Cousins starting for a little bit.
He did.
So
I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the season, he looked. He looked from what you've seen on his NFL tape. He looked not bad.
mhm,
Again, left-handed, so it's a little bit weird watching him.
yeah.
But in the same, can't really hate him. There's been a lot of good left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep. Nope.
Um,
Next pick.
you
Next
got
pick.
Arizona, Glensdale, Arizona. What are they taking?
They're taking corner Will Johnson from Michigan.
Okay. Okay. So in the first round, I believe you had them taking a Mika Buka.
I did have them taking
Egbuka.
Ibuka
Yeah.
in the last one.
think
But
it's
I don't see them doing that. I see them bolstering up their defense and
Okay.
with the corner get some
Absolutely. I
pass
mean,
defense help.
when you're going to be playing against teams that have players like JSN, Cooper Cup, you have Devontae Adams
Devontae
now in
Adams
division
now,
and
Puka
Puka
Nacua.
Nakua. Absolutely. I could see you going after another cornerback who could cover those guys.
Mhm.
I don't hate that pick. I did mention earlier he did get injured in his senior year. Hopefully that's fully recovered. I haven't really looked too much into the injury report on him, but I'm assuming he's good to go. You have the Bengals coming up at 17,
Do have the Bengals at
and it looks
17.
like you just love Michigan, don't you?
I do like Michigan. We both liked Michigan.
Sure do.
So I honestly don't really like Michigan that
No,
much.
I just like their players. I think their players
they
turn into
put
good.
out good players.
They
They do
do.
put out good players.
They do.
So and this is the same pick as the last time. Kenneth Grant, the other interior D lineman
Okay.
from Michigan.
So you have
Uh,
Kenneth Grant going there. That's kind of a tag along with BJ Hill. We're not really sure if Hendrickson's going to be on the team. Is he going to be traded? It kind of seems like he's going to be on the team or a holdout. One of the two. I can't really see anything beyond that. I can't see him playing
But I
how
mean,
he is.
if the Bengals don't go defense in the first round, they're royally screwing up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right.
So
It would be so dumb for them not to go defense.
yeah,
They absolutely
they
need
need
it.
all kinds of defensive help.
Mm-hmm.
So with the next pick,
All right.
the Seahawks are going to take James Pierce Jr., edge rusher out of Tennessee.
This is my favorite edge rusher in the draft. I really like James Pierce Jr. for his athleticism.
Good player. Good player.
To the Seahawks. It's not that I don't see it happening. It just hurts because I don't.
I know. It's just I just in the last one, even for me, like I was like, he's falling too far for me. Like he needs to go a little bit higher.
He's good.
Like
He is good.
So I think this is the first opportunity for him to go at 8.
Okay.
18 to the Seahawks.
So
They need another edge rusher in
they
Seattle as
I
well.
could see them going I could see them going with this. Guys, last week on the show, I did my mock draft. I had them taking a wide receiver in this position because I said you
Mhm.
can't start Jake Bobo. And let me tell you, there are some Seattle fans who stood on business about loving Jake Bobo, and he hasn't had enough time to really show that he's good. So,
Mhm.
all right, in your draft, Jake Bobo gets to play on the starting line. Now they do have MVS, but
I don't think necessarily Jake Bobo is still going to be a starter. There's still some wide receivers in the later rounds that
okay.
Seattle can go after.
Okay, but James
So
Pierce Jr. is the pick. Guys, let us know in the comments. Do you like James Pierce Jr. as a pick for the Seattle Seahawks? Obviously, we did wide receiver in our mock draft one. You guys hated us. Let us know.
so at 19 for the Buccaneers, they're going
Uh-huh.
to take
Yeah, say his name.
Donovan
I did it last week.
Ezeruku. Ezeruku.
The edge rusher from from
Ezer,
Boston College, Donovan E.
Ezeruku. Donovan E.
I can't wait to hear it during the draft so that I know how to say
Ezeruku.
it.
Ezeruku. That's how I'm going to say it. Ezeruku.
Okay, that's your name, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have him going 19 to Tampa Bay. I could see that. Edge rusher is a position of need. They also could use some linebacker help. Cornerbacks, they do have Izian who plays safety and cornerback, and they have a pretty good secondary in my opinion. So I don't
Mhm.
see them really needing too much back there.
Yeah, no.
But if we're
They
looking
could use
defense,
definitely some help on the edge.
yeah, they could use help on the edge and then also it just linebacker in general.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
let's see what you
So
got
I
next
mean,
coming up, dog.
if Jaheed Campbell doesn't go 14, I could also see him dropping
This
to 19
100%. That is
to the
where
Bucks.
he would go. Yes.
Yeah. So like
Yes.
that, it's just if Jahad Campbell's not there, he's gonna be a Buccaneer.
Okay. Okay. And I can agree with that. Now next at
So
20.
next at 20 for the Broncos, Emeka Ibuka
So finally a wide
from
receiver.
Ohio State goes to the Broncos.
We
Second wide
haven't.
receiver.
I don't think we've done wide receiver to the Broncos yet. I think we've been having them take mostly running backs so far in our drafts.
Yes, the last one I did, I believe were taking Hampton.
And that's
From
who I project them to
yeah,
take as
yeah.
well. So
So I'm gonna say they go wide receiver here.
it's one of the two positions, guys. We've been talking about this throughout our draft coverage. The Broncos, they need to highlight getting more playmakers for Bo Nix now that they know that he is the quarterback of the
Mhm.
future. And either getting a Hampton or the next available wide receiver who would be out there.
Well, so
Golden, maybe.
in this mock draft, I have them taking Ibuka, but they could realistically get the next two players who I'm about to say.
Okay.
So
Okay. So for the 20th pick, because we were chatting a little bit there, we have the Denver Broncos taking Emeka Egbuka. Let us know in the comments. Do you like Emeka Egbuka to go to the Broncos? Do you think wide receivers should be the position that they go after first in the draft? Let us know.
I mean, just get Bo Nix another weapon
Yeah, they need
other
to.
than Cortland Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can't be a one-man show.
yeah, no.
Next is our team, bro.
Next, the Pittsburgh Steelers
Oh boy.
are going to take another running back in the first round. They're going to take Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's a need, but
He's a baller.
It is a baller, and he is the next best running back behind Ashton Genty. I don't think there's much of a drop off between the two, to be quite honest. Not as much as like some people think
There
is.
isn't.
He put up really good numbers on a really bad North Carolina team. So
Rob says at least it's not another quarterback. I mean,
until they trade up and draft one.
I can see Amari and Hampton being really, really good. You're
Yeah,
not wrong.
same,
He
same.
put up great stats in college. It's the scary thing of taking a first round wide receiver or first round running back.
Yeah.
Luke, what's up, dog? I just don't know if I love taking a running back in the first round when the
I
Steelers
wouldn't
still
necessarily.
need a quarterback.
I know. It's just, man. Steelers are going to do Steeler things. And
Yeah.
this is a Steeler thing to do.
Yeah, you're not.
So like
you're not wrong at all.
This
They
is a
do
Steeler
not
thing to
trade
do.
up.
So
Luke says he was amazing at UNC in college, and he was. I've been watching his tape.
yeah, he was.
He kind of reminds me
good.
a little bit of Le'Veon Bell. I wanted to say he has like that
Bro,
nice patience.
If we could get a Le'Veon Bell 2.0 with that pick,
Yeah,
I would love
that's
it.
why I don't hate.
I
it
would then I
completely.
would love that pick.
Now,
If he ends up being like that.
he is
Like
he has that patience running and also has a burst of speed. He thinks he's better than Willie Parker. Okay, okay, okay. And Dave says we need a quarterback. Why you take a running back, bro? Relax, relax. Dave, we're gonna take one probably in the third round and all be miserable.
Hey, we're gonna roll with Mason Rudolph. It's fine.
Or roll with Mason Rudolph. We'll see.
It's not fine,
Who
but
do you have coming up 22? I know Luke is a Chargers fan, so he came in at the right time.
22. I think this is a lock too. If he's there, Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
I do too.
Like just going the hardball
I,
again.
I don't think
Like
there's any way around it. In every mock draft we have done, the Chargers have taken Loveland. I don't think there's
yeah,
any
I
way
don't.
around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the connections from Michigan to their head coach is too big.
Yeah,
I think that the position is a position of need, and he is really talented.
it's a position of need. The only other real spot I could see him going
I don't see
is
him go
is
Tampa
to
Bay.
to either Tampa Bay or the Broncos.
Yeah, no, not the Broncos because they just went and got Mark or not Ingram. What's his first name? What's Ingram's first name? Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah, he's their tight end now. So I
They
don't
could still draft one.
go two tight ends.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
Patriots did it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So one turned into a murderer.
Luke says that they might need a defensive
But
end as well. We do have a couple on the board, like Michael Williams is still available, Nick Scruton, Shamar Stewart,
mm-hmm.
but I still see them going with more help for Justin Herbert. I just feel like that's the mantra that they can build with them from within on defense and later in the draft, like with that Tyreek Tarhill kid that they got last year,
Yeah,
who's great at cornerback.
yeah,
I feel like they can build them up with coaching and get just athletes and then get star studs in the first and second round on offense. I just
yeah,
feel like that's the way to go.
yeah, for sure. So I just that's a lock at 22 if he's there. So
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
So 23, the Green Bay Packers. I have Mike Green moving up to 23. I had the Eagles taking him
You did.
in the last one. I
was the
have
last
Mike
pick.
Green moving up to 23 to the Packers.
I think
I
it's a
think
good
it's a
pick.
solid pick.
I think it's a good pick. Mike Green is extremely impressive. I've mentioned this a million times before. Any sort of scouting tape that he has done or any invite that he's done, he is blown away.
Mm-hmm.
So freak athlete. I think he's going to be great. It's just which team gets him first that
Yeah.
needs an edge.
So
That'd be my thought on him.
And I think he goes to 23. To the Green Bay Packers, 24 for the Vikings. They're going to take Walter Nolan, who makes an appearance in my first round
Man, I'll
for
tell
this
you
mock draft.
I'll tell you this. Walter Nolan, even in PFF, has gone from a like 38 rank, 40 rank. He's in the top 10 now.
Really?
Yes, he has blown up the boards, Walter
Wow.
Nolan, in the last couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. He's been doing impressive tape, impressive interviews, and getting
Okay.
a lot of 30 for 30s. So if he falls all the way down here, which I see, it's a possibility. The Vikings taking him, that's a steal of a pick, in my opinion. I think
That
Walter
is- it
Nolan's
is-
one of the
that-
best in the draft.
I think that is a steal. It's a steal. It's also a safe pick there for the Vikings. Help with their front seven.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, 25, it's pretty crazy that the Green Bay Packers get to draft right in front of their rivals. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's a luxury in its own.
Yes, it
Coming
is.
up at 25, though, is the Texans. Who do you have going there?
still they're going to still take Calvin Banks Jr.
Offensive
tackle
line.
out of
Just pay
Texas.
attention to the offensive
Yep,
line. I
yep.
agree with you there. The only other
Yep.
position I could see them going for would be wide receiver and maybe a Matthew Golden, but at the same time, protecting CJ Stroud so he has the ability to distribute the ball is a big deal. Plus, there's
Yeah.
more wide receivers later in the draft.
Yep, for sure. So the next pick at 26 for the LA Rams, they're going to take Josh Simmons, tackle Ohio State. I had Josh Simmons taken a little bit higher in my previous mock draft.
Yeah.
I think he falls a little bit. I think the Rams are going to take him with that pick to
Okay.
help shore up that offensive
Yeah.
line.
They could use another offensive lineman after trading away Jonah Jackson for sure.
Yeah.
What I was thinking here is that you haven't fallen pretty significantly in comparison to what I had in my mock 2.0. I have him
Believe
as
so.
a replacement for Armstead down in
Yeah,
Miami.
you had him. You had him
So
in Miami.
he falls about 20 here on your mock draft. That's Josh Simmons going to the LA Rams at 26. Coming up at 27, Bird Team, the one we hate.
Bird team, the Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens, the Ratbirds. They're going to take Michael
Williams.
Williams,
Mhm.
Georgia. Kind of like similar to an Abdul Carter, can play the edge, can play off ball, definitely better as an edge rusher, but
He's
still
gonna
can
kill
play an off ball. And he's probably going to be a Steeler killer.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
gonna be a Steeler killer. That's exactly what I was thinking about. If Mykal Williams falls to 27 to the Ravens, goodbye to Mason Rudolph's brain.
right, right.
Just throwing that out there. So
So
yeah, that'd be a great pick if Mykal Williams ends up falling to the Ravens. It would be detrimental to the Steelers' success in 2025.
mhm.
But I mean, more power to them. 28 Lions. Who you got?
Lions are going to take Williams' buddy, Jalen Walker,
Oh, really?
Georgia.
We just got all the Georgia guys going off right
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
Now that's
So, I
three in the
mean,
first round for you, Ben. You really focused on those Georgia and Michigan players in this draft. You've got 4 Michigan guys and 3 Georgia boys.
They put out talent.
Yeah,
They produce NFL talent.
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. So Jalen Walker, you have him linebacker going to the Lions. I will say Lions great on defense with their head coach, but the problem is that everybody just kept falling like flies.
Yeah.
They've got Jack Campbell there at the middle linebacker, but having a partner to go alongside him and Anzalone wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yep.
I think
Well, Jalen Walker can also play the edge.
I was going to say I think that he's more of an edge guy too
Mhm.
in his natural
Both,
position,
yeah,
right?
both Williams and Walker were mainly edge guys. They
Mhm.
can play off ball linebacker,
Mhm.
it's when they need to. So just
Yeah.
like Abdul Carter, just like a Michael Parsons can. So
100%. I think that it is highly possible. Now, coming up, Terry says, "Come on, get to the Commanders pick, bro. Who do you
hey,
got? Who do you got coming up for the Commanders, bro?"
Commanders are going to take Shamar Stewart,
Shamar
edge
Stewart.
rusher,
Okay.
Texas A&M.
Okay. I can see Shamar Stewart ending up not really an edge rusher and more of a DT playing tackle. He's a bigger
Bulk him up
boy.
and move him
Yeah.
inside.
He's a little bit. I'm not going to call him slow, but he's a little bit slower than some of the edge rushers.
He's
Which,
big.
yeah, 'cause he's big. So I could see him being moved to the interior a little bit more if he does go to the Commanders to replace maybe a player that they have lost. I like the pick. I wonder if running back would be another position of consideration. If maybe Amarian Hampton was available, he would fall and definitely be taken here.
If Amarian Hampton's there, I could see them taking the running back as well.
Because Brian
But
Robinson by himself is not very good.
honestly, even if Amarian Hampton is there and they didn't take a running back, there's still so many other
There
ones.
still are so
And
many
they could
good running backs
possibly
in this
get
draft.
Amarian Hampton in the second round.
You're
So
not wrong. You aren't wrong.
it's just Amarian Hampton, he could go first or second. So
Whichever one of you is blasting the likes for us here on TikTok, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So next we're at pick number 30. You've got the Buffalo Bills
Mhm.
on the clock.
Mhm.
Who do you got them taking?
They're going to go back-to-back years taking a wide receiver in the first round. They're going to take Matthew Golden out of Texas.
Matthew Golden out of Texas.
Mhm.
Okay.
They're going to try and get that receiver position right.
I like that. Now that would make the front three, the best 3 wide receivers on the team. That would give you, let's see, they added in the offseason Josh Palmer. So you'd have Josh Palmer on the outside. You'd have Khalil Shakir going across the middle.
Mhm.
And then add Matthew Golden as the other outside wide receiver. I think you could get Josh Allen running less and throwing more in that scenario.
Yeah.
So I do like it. Golden,
So, plus-
fastest wide receiver in the draft.
Mhm. And they just paid Josh Allen, so they're going to surround him with all the talent they could possibly surround him with.
True. And Terry, you beat me too because I was just thinking about it. They
Yeah.
also have Keon Coleman, who
Mhm.
they drafted in the first round last year.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't really come
He wasn't that
to his own. Really.
good. I can't. Like,
I
he
feel
was
like he still has
okay.
potential.
He still has potential. He's more of he's like a deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I just maybe
I could see them, to be completely honest. I was just
maybe he
thinking about
pans
this.
out. I don't know. I just
If Keon Coleman, if the Buffalo Bills wanted to go after another wide receiver after getting Josh Palmer as well, they could probably trade Keon Coleman and their first round pick, the 30th pick,
Mhm.
to go up
Yeah.
decently in the draft, maybe into the 20s, somewhere into the 20s.
yeah they
Tapping
could,
at 20,
do
I
that.
think.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Buffalo Bills, Matthew Golden. That's Ben's mock draft 3.0 pick for the Buffalo Bills. Rebuilding the offense, giving a
Not
little more
rebuilding
zest.
it, just adding more.
Well, they got rid of all their wide receivers, basically. They had Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and
They had
no
No shoes.
Mr. No Shoes.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
getting a whole new wide receiver core this year. That's for
Yeah.
sure. 2 guys coming back. Who do you got coming up at 31?
but-
Well, there's more than
I know.
four wide
I know.
receivers.
I know. The Chiefs, same guy. Greg Zobel.
I think this is
Zabel, tackle from North Dakota State.
he's gonna be able to play
It's cold
anywhere.
up there, you know.
Anywhere. He's gonna play any position. I don't see him falling earlier into the first round. I don't see him being like a top 20 pick, but even at that, I see him being a great NFL player.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
regardless of being taken in the 28 to 30 round, or 32, I still think he's a great player.
So,
Yeah, and with your last pick, this is the Super Bowl Philadelphia Eagles.
mhm.
Who'd you have?
The Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, are going to take Nick
Scruton.
Skirton,
Something like that.
edge from Texas A&M.
Yeah, so you had 2 Texas A&M guys going in the last 4 of the draft, which I think is probably where they are projected to go. Nothing absolutely crazy, I don't think, to your
No, they're
draft
they're
here.
just gonna for the Eagles. They're just gonna reload at that at the edge position.
Which they need to do after Brandon Graham retires, and I just want to
And
add this: Brandon Graham's only 90% retired. They said he hasn't signed his. They said the paperwork's all written up. He just
yeah, he
hasn't signed it yet.
And
So
they did lose Josh Sweat
as
free
well,
agency.
absolutely,
So
guys. Want to just give you the shout out for all of you who are in chat today, hanging out with us. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you smack the subscribe button, smash a like button, leave us a comment, let us know what you think of our draft picks. Coming up next week, this is next Tuesday now, we're going to have our last and final mock draft. We're going to include some trades and a little bit of craziness in our final
yeah,
mock draft just to get it a little,
chaos.
zesty. Yeah, we want chaos,
We
and
want
that's what's going to
chaos.
happen. And then remember that we will be live for the entire NFL draft throughout the draft. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You'll get to see our shiny, pretty little faces talking about football. It's going to be a great time. We're excited for it. We hope you are too. Again, thank you for watching. Until the next episode, peace out, guys.
Peace.